Scientists are regenerating livers. That's good news. Congratulations. Hi. It's a jingly dog in my time vortex. This is Ftrhstry. We're coming through from the 2120s to the 2020s, or wherever you may be watching this in between. And we're talking today about cell regeneration in livers, specifically mice livers, unfortunately. But it's a good step because mice are mammals. You might predict that this regeneration, which happened at the Salk Institute for Biomedical Research, biological, I guess. They do sort of general big picture biology with an eye toward regenerative medicinal breakthroughs, right? So you might guess that this research involved the Yamanaka factors, which are more fun to say as Yamanaka factors, but are almost certainly pronounced Yamanaka factors. I don't have to tell you they are the OCT3-4, the SOX2, the KLF4, and the CMYC. C-MYC. You know how molecules work, always throwing in dashes or fractions sometimes, and capitalization seems to be relevant. I'm sure we all understand and don't have to explain that any further, but we will talk about Yamanaka factors at some other date because they're obviously quite exciting. And what the Salk team did was they applied these Yamanaka factors to mice liver cells for 1 day and 1 day only, and then they watched the livers over the course of 9 months. And they did this because they wanted to see two things. One, if they could see increased regeneration in these livers. Livers are particularly good at regeneration compared to other organs. Mammals in general, not great at regenerating organs compared to some other kinds of life. So scientists are quite keen to figure out why we're not as good at it as fish or fungi and crack that code a little bit. So one thing they wanted to see was, do these Yamanaka factors increase rejuvenation? And the answer is yes. And the other thing they wanted to see is, did they cause any negative effects? Because Yamanaka factors have a way of generating a little too much cell activity in a way that can lead to runaway replication, aka cancer. So they didn't want to see tumors after 9 months. They didn't see any tumors. Their theory was if they applied these factors for a short period of time, they would maybe evade some of those deleterious effects down the road while getting the bonus effects of the rejuvenation, and that is what they found. So that's good news. Just a little dash of Yamanaka factors goes a long way. They discovered one other fun bonus thing, which is the TOP2A gene regulates increased rejuvenation and birth of more new cells, more young cells. So they found out that turning that off would reduce the number of fresh new cells that they got, and leaving the TOP2A gene on increased the number of new cells, especially after the application of the, I'm going to do it again, Yamanaka factors. The Yamanaka factors, which are the most exciting kind of factor that you could possibly apply to your liver, including, yes, tequila, though it's great. Okay, where does it go? Forward. You can do this more in the late 20s. It starts to get really lasered in. You're going to find more of these factors. So Yamanaka is going to have company. There are other molecules that can do even more precise forms of age reversal, and you're going to find them in the late 20s and the early 30s. Then in 30s and 40s, rejuvenation is going to start becoming like pretty common practice, and you're going to be able to reverse aging on virtually any part of a biological system, which is quite neat. And it would seem like the end of the rainbow, except it's only the beginning of a new rainbow of transmutation and evolution of bodies into more technological formats and digitized, uploaded formats. So just at the same time that you're sort of solving the problem of the human body repair workshop, you're opening up these doors toward even more exciting avenues of exploding new forms of bodies and migrating your minds into higher and more complex forms. So, very exciting still, because it's nascent technology in the early 20s, but by the late 20s and early 30s, it's going to start to be applied medically in humans, and by the 2040s, that will be standard practice and on its way to becoming quite cheap. So that's good news for everyone in the world. I hope you don't have good reason to repair your liver, but if you do, you might have some hope from a few juicy molecules. Okay, stay frosty. Future bye.